Hey, Cowboys fans, we've got some major tea to spill today. Wide receiver CeeDee Lamb is setting the record straight on why Dak Prescott's interceptions aren't what they seem. Could it be that there's more behind those picks than we're seeing on game day? Stick around, because CeeDee's inside perspective might just change how you look at Dak and this entire Cowboys offense. Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a die-hard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. We're diving deep into one of the most talked about subjects in Dallas, Dak Prescott's interceptions. I know this has been a hot topic lately, especially after some of those crucial games where a pick seemed to turn things around in the wrong direction. But we have some fresh insight into this from one of our favorite receivers, CeeDee Lamb, who's recently shared his perspective on Dak's picks and, more importantly, his leadership on the field. So let's set the stage here. Dak Prescott is one of the most scrutinized quarterbacks in the league, right? Every throw, every decision, and especially every interception gets picked apart by analysts, fans, and honestly, sometimes his teammates. But CeeDee Lamb, our breakout wide receiver, has recently come out with some comments that give us a little more perspective, not just on Dak's interceptions, but also on how Dak leads this team even through adversity. Now Lamb, being one of the key pieces in our offense, isn't just a casual bystander here. He's right there on the field, in the huddle, seeing how Dak operates play by play. And the way he sees it? There's a lot more to Dak's interceptions than meets the eye. Let's be real here, as fans. We often only see the final outcome of a play, not the 100 little things that go into making it happen or not happen. Lamb pointed out something crucial in his interview. He talked about how, sometimes, interceptions aren't just on the quarterback. There can be miscommunications, especially when you're dealing with new routes, fresh offensive schemes, or facing top-tier defenses that force quick decisions. And according to Lamb, Dak isn't just throwing it up for grabs. Every pass has intention behind it, even if it doesn't always pan out. Now, I know what you're thinking. A pick is a pick. And sure, I get it. But Lamb emphasized the importance of understanding the why behind those interceptions. For instance, in certain situations, they might call for a risky throw because it's the only shot to move the chains. Lamb said that he and Dak work constantly on timing, reading the defense, and understanding each other's cues. But hey, let's face it, things happen. Defensive players are paid to make plays too, right? It's actually really refreshing to hear Lamb come to Dak's defense like this. Not only does it show the bond they have, but it speaks to the way this team is built. Let's remember, Lamb has also been putting up big numbers this season. He's a guy who's proving himself as an elite receiver, so for him to step up and say, "Hold up, this is a team effort," that really says something about the respect he has for Dak and the way they communicate on the field. And let's talk a bit about leadership. Dak isn't just leading the offense, he's rallying the entire team. Lamb mentioned how, after every interception, Dak's first instinct is to pull his guys together, talk about what went wrong, and figure out how to make it right in real time. That's a level of accountability that a lot of quarterbacks don't show. According to Lamb, Dak isn't out there sulking or making excuses. He's immediately moving to the next play, looking for how to adjust. That's big. Think about it, how often do we see quarterbacks fall apart after throwing a pick? But with Dak, Lamb says it's like watching a switch flip. He doesn't let mistakes linger. And for a young receiver like CeeDee, having a QB with that level of resilience, who's not afraid to keep trusting his guys, that's a huge confidence booster. It's that trust that Lamb and Dak are building that's going to pay off in the long run. Sure, if we're talking pure stats, Maybe there are some numbers that Doc would like to change. But numbers only tell part of the story, and that's what CeeDee wants everyone to understand. This isn't just about avoiding interceptions, it's about making sure that the offense is trying to move forward on every down, even if that means occasionally taking a big risk. And when you look at how CeeDee Lamb's stats have improved over the season, you can see how Dak's risk-taking plays into that. Every yard, every completion is a product of that chemistry they're building. Lamb himself said that he's been learning from Doc's style, and that they're constantly tweaking their play style to counter different defenses. It's about growing together and learning from every down, every route. And the pressure is only going to mount from here. The Cowboys are still a talented team with a ton of offensive firepower. But they're not going to go anywhere if Doc can't raise his level of play. He's the key to this entire operation, and he's got to step up. Another big implication is the potential impact on Doc's long-term future with the Cowboys. Now, I don't think there's any chance the team moves on from him anytime soon. He's still their guy, and they're invested in him. But if the struggles continue, you have to wonder if the Cowboys might start looking at other long-term options at the position. After all, the NFL is a what-have-you-done-for-me-lately league. And if Doc can't start delivering more consistent, high-level play, the Cowboys might have to start considering whether he's truly the answer at QB. That's not an easy decision, but it's one they may have to make if he can't get things turned around. Finally, this whole situation is going to have a major impact on the Cowboys' off-season plans. With Doc's performance being such a hot-button issue, you can bet that addressing the QB position is going to be a top priority. The team might look to bring in a veteran backup who can push Doc, or they may even explore the possibility of drafting a developmental QB. At the end of the day, Lamb's words tell us something really important about Dak's character. He's got his teammates' backs, and they've got his. Lamb made it clear that this isn't about one player carrying the team. They're building a culture of accountability, one where mistakes are analyzed, but no one's getting thrown under the bus. And as fans, maybe that's a reminder for us too. It's easy to get frustrated when interceptions happen, especially when the stakes are high. But listening to a guy like Lamb, who's right there on the field with Doc, gives us a bit more insight into what's really going on. It's not about the interceptions themselves. It's about how they respond to them, how they work through those tough moments. So Cowboys Nation, here's where I want to hear from you. After hearing Lamb's perspective, does it change how you feel about Doc's interceptions? Do you see the bigger picture Lamb is talking about? Let's get a conversation going in the comments, because this is a big season for the Cowboys, and understanding these dynamics might just give us a new appreciation for what they're building.